Welcome. We are live. This is Kathy and Lee, Business Law. It's an Oracle live reading. Oral live reading. Commentary. We're going to pick up where we left off. This is the actual business law. If you haven't been following, that's fine. We haven't gotten too far. We can pick up from here. We're learning what containers mean. And there's that number 16 again. We've been discussing the significance of the number 16. Let's go back a little bit and start to read from here, and then we'll discuss it. Welcome.
Sector 17.31. Identification, possession, and use of certain containers. A in this section. 1. Bakery basket or tray means a wire or plastic container that holds bread or other baked goods and is used by a distributor or retailer or an agent of a distributor or retailer to transport, store, or carry bakery products. 2. Container means a bakery basket or tray, dairy case, egg basket, poultry box, or other container used to transport, store, or carry a product. 3. Dairy case creme of the crop means ACH wire or plastic card credit container that holds 16 quarts more of beverage and is used by a distributor or retailer or an agent of a distributor or retail. Tell over repeat message. Mock-up per son of education ward to transport, store, or carry dairy products. 4. Egg basket means a permanent type of container that contains 4 dozen or more shell eggs and is used by a distributor or retailer or an agent of a distributor or retailer to transport, store, or carry eggs. 5. Laundry cart means a basket that is mounted on wheels and used in a coin-operated laundry or dry cleaning establishment by a customer or an attendant to transport laundry and laundry supplies. 6. Name or mark means any permanently affixed or permanently stamped name or mark that is used for the purpose of identifying the owner of a shopping cart, laundry cart, or container. 7. Parking area means a lot or other property provided by a retail establishment for the use of customers to park automobiles or other vehicles while doing business in that establishment. 8. Poultry box means a permanent type of container that is used by a processor, distributor, retailer, or food service establishment or an agent of one of those persons to transport, store, or carry poultry. 9. Shopping cart means a basket that is mounted on wheels or a similar device, generally used in a retail establishment by a customer to transport goods of any kind. B. A person owning a shopping cart, laundry cart, or container may adopt and use a name or mark on the carts or containers. C. A person may not. 1. Use for any purpose outside the premises of the owner or an adjacent parking area, a container of another that is identified with or by any name or mark unless the use is authorized by the owner. 2. Sell or offer for sale a container of another that is identified with or by a name or mark unless the sale is authorized by the owner, or 3. Deface, obliterate, destroy, cover up, or otherwise remove or conceal a name or mark on a container of another without the written consent of the owner. D. A common carrier or contract carrier, unless engaged in the transporting of dairy products, eggs, and poultry to and from farms where they are produced. may not receive or transport a container marked with a name or mark unless the carrier has in the carrier's possession a bill of lading or invoice for the container. E. A person may not remove a container from the premises, parking area, or any other area of a processor, distributor, or retail establishment or from a delivery vehicle unless the person is legally authorized to do so if 1. The container is marked on at least one side with a name or mark, and 2. A notice to the public, warning that unauthorized use by a person other than the owner is punishable by law, is visibly displayed on the container. F. A person may not 1. Remove a shopping cart or laundry cart from the premises or parking area of a retail establishment with intent to temporarily or permanently deprive the owner of the cart or the retailer of possession of the cart. 2. Remove a shopping cart or laundry cart without written authorization from the owner of the cart from the premises or parking area of any retail establishment. 3. Possess, without the written permission of the owner or retailer in lawful possession of the cart, a shopping cart or laundry cart outside the premises or parking lot of the retailer whose name or mark appears on the cart, or 4. Remove, obliterate, or alter a serial number, name, or mark affixed to a shopping cart or laundry cart. G. The requiring, taking, or accepting of a deposit on delivery of a container, shopping cart, or laundry cart is not considered a sale of the container or cart. H. A person who violates this section commits an offense. An offense under this section is a Class C misdemeanor. Each violation constitutes a separate offense. 1. This section does not apply to the owner of a shopping cart, laundry cart, or container, or to a customer or any other person who has written consent from the owner of a shopping cart, laundry cart, or container or from a retailer in lawful possession of the cart or container to remove it from the premises or the parking area of the retail establishment. For the purposes of this section, the term written consent includes tokens and other indicia of consent established by the owner of the carts or the retailer. Added by Acts 1989, 71st Leg, CH 724, Sector 1, F September 1st, 1989. Subchapter E, Deceptive Trade Practices and Consumer Protection. Sector 17.41. Short title. This subchapter may be cited as the Deceptive Trade Practices Consumer Protection Act. Added by Acts 1973, 63rd Leg, page 322, Chapter 143, Sector 1, F, May 21st, 1973. Sector 17.42. Waivers. Public Policy. A. Any waiver by a consumer of the provisions of this subchapter is contrary to public policy and is unenforceable and void, provided, however, that a waiver is valid and enforceable if 1. The waiver is in writing and is signed by the consumer. 2. The consumer is not in a significantly desperate bargaining position, and 3. The consumer is represented by legal counsel in seeking or acquiring the goods or services. B. A waiver under subsection A is not effective if the consumer's legal counsel was directly or indirectly identified, suggested, or selected by a defendant or an agent of the defendant. C. A waiver under this section must be 1. Conspicuous and in boldface type of at least 10 points in size. 2. Identified by the heading Waiver of Consumer Rights or words of similar meaning, and 3. In substantially the following form. I waive my rights under the Deceptive Trade Practices Consumer Protection Act, Section 17.41 ETC, Business and Commerce Code, a law that gives consumers special rights and protections. After consultation with an attorney of my own selection, I voluntarily consent to this waiver. D. The waiver required by subsection C may be modified to waive only specified rights under this subchapter. E. The fact that a consumer has signed a waiver under this section is not a defense to an action brought by the Attorney General under Section 17.47. Added by Acts 1973, 63rd Leg, page 322, Chapter 143, Sector 1, F, May 21st, 1973. Amended by Acts 1981. 67th leg, page 863, Chapter 307, Sector 1, F. August 31st, 1981. Acts 1983. 68th leg, page 4943, Chapter 883. Sector 1, F. August 29th, 1983. Acts 1987. 70th leg, CH 167, Sector 5.02, 6, F. September 1st, 1987, Acts 1989, 71st leg, CH 380, Sector 1, F. September 1st, 1989, Acts 1995, 74th leg, CH 414, Sector 1, F. September 1st, 1995. Sector 17.43. Cumulative remedies. The provisions of this subchapter are not exclusive. The remedies provided in this subchapter are in addition to any other procedures or remedies provided for in any other law, provided, however, that no recovery shall be permitted under both this subchapter and another law of both damages and penalties for the same act or practice. A violation of a provision of law other than this subchapter is not in and of itself a violation of this subchapter. An act or practice that is a violation of a provision of law other than this subchapter may be made the basis of an action under this subchapter if the act or practice is proscribed by a provision of this subchapter or is declared by such other law to be actionable under this subchapter. The provisions of this subchapter do not in any way preclude other political subdivisions of this state from dealing with deceptive trade practices. Added by Acts 1973, 63rd leg, page 322, Chapter 143, Sector 1, F. May 21st, 1973. Amended by Acts 1979, 66th leg, page 1327, Chapter 603, Sector 1, F. August 27th, 1979, Acts 1995, 74th leg, CH 414, Sector 1, F. September 1st, 1995. Sector 17.44. Construction and application. A. This subchapter shall be liberally construed and applied to promote its underlying purposes, which are to protect consumers against false, misleading, and deceptive business practices, unconscionable actions, and breaches of warranty, and to provide efficient and economical procedures to secure such protection. B. Chapter 27, Property Code, prevails over this subchapter to the extent of any conflict. Added by Acts 1973, 63rd leg, page 322, Chapter 143, Sector 1, F. May 21st, 1973. Amended by Acts 1995, 74th leg, CH 414, Sector 1, F. September 1st, 1995. Sector 17.45. Definitions. As used in this subchapter. 1. Goods means tangible chattels or real property purchased or leased for use. 2. Services means work, labor, or service purchased or leased for use, including services furnished in connection with the sale or repair of goods. 3. Person means an individual, partnership, corporation, association, or other group, however organized. 4. Consumer means an individual, partnership, corporation, this state, or a subdivision or agency of this state who seeks or acquires by purchase or lease any goods or services, except that the term does not include a business consumer that has assets of $25 million or more, or that is owned or controlled by a corporation or entity with assets of $25 million or more. 5. Unconscionable action or course of action means an act or practice which, to a consumer's detriment, takes advantage of the lack of knowledge, ability, experience, or capacity of the consumer to a grossly unfair degree. 6. Trade and commerce mean the advertising, offering for sale, lease, or distribution of any good or service of any property, tangible or intangible, real, personal, or mixed, and any other article, commodity, or thing of value, wherever situated, and shall include any trade or commerce directly or indirectly affecting the people of this state. 7. Documentary material includes the original or a copy of any book, record, report, memorandum, paper, communication, tabulation, map, chart, photograph, mechanical transcription, or other tangible document or recording, wherever situated. 8. Consumer Protection Division means the Consumer Protection Division of the Attorney General's Office. 9. Knowingly means actual awareness, at the time of the act or practice complained of the falsity, deception, or unfairness of the act or practice giving rise to the consumer's claim, or in an action brought under subdivision 2 of subsection A of section 17.50, actual awareness of the act, practice, condition, defect, or failure constituting the breach of warranty, but actual awareness may be inferred where objective manifestations indicate that a person acted with actual awareness. 10. Business consumer means an individual, partnership, or corporation who seeks or acquires by purchase or lease any goods or services for commercial or business use. The term does not include the state or a subdivision or agency of the state. 11. Economic damages means compensatory damages for pecuniary loss, including costs of repair and replacement. The term does not include exemplary damages or damages for physical pain and mental anguish, loss of consortium, disfigurement, physical impairment, or loss of companionship and society. 12. Residence means a building. A. That is a single-family house, duplex, triplex, or quadruplex, or a unit in a multi-unit residential structure in which title to the individual units is transferred to the owners under a condominium or cooperative system, and B. That is occupied or to be occupied as the consumer's residence. 13. Intentionally means actual awareness of the falsity, deception, or unfairness of the act or practice, or the condition, defect, or failure constituting a breach of warranty giving rise to the consumer's claim, coupled with the specific intent that the consumer act in detrimental reliance on the falsity or deception, or in detrimental ignorance of the unfairness. Intention may be inferred from objective manifestations that indicate that the person acted intentionally or from facts showing that a defendant acted with flagrant disregard of prudent and fair business practices to the extent that the defendant should be treated as having acted intentionally. 14. Vehicle protection product. A means a product or system including a written warranty. 1. That is A. Installed on or applied to a vehicle, and B. Designed to prevent loss of or damage to a vehicle from a specific cause, and 2. Under which, after installation or application of the product or system described by subparagraph I, if loss or damage results from the failure of the product or system to perform as represented in the warranty, the warrantor, to the extent agreed on as part of the warranty, is required to pay expenses to the person in this state who purchases or otherwise possesses the product or system for the loss of or damage to the vehicle, and B. May also include identity recovery, as defined by Section 1304.003, Occupations Code, if the product or system described by paragraph A is financed under Chapter 348 or 353, Finance Code. 15. Warrantor means a person named under the terms of a vehicle protection product warranty as the contractual obligor to a person in this state who purchases or otherwise possesses a vehicle protection product. 16. Loss of or damage to the vehicle, for purposes of subdivision 14A2, may also include unreimbursed incidental expenses that may be incurred by the warrantor, including expenses for a replacement vehicle, temporary vehicle rental expenses, and registration expenses for replacement vehicles. 17. Building materials includes lumber, windows, and other materials used in the construction or repair of improvements to real property. Added by Acts 1973, 63rd leg, page 322, chapter 143.
We're going to stop right there because we need to go over some of the things that has been said, because now we're getting into, okay, from what we've noticed, is touching on intellectual property law. Um, I'm just saying so far because this is business law. And so when using the words, um, they chose words that can be applicable to a variety of businesses. When they talk about containers, it doesn't have to mean like a package, okay? Like I was explaining the other day that we call storage containers, and um, when you say this channel contains videos on, say, for example, a specific topic. Those are containers that you have created um, using a video to um, gather information or data and and present a product, okay? And present a product via video, okay? And so the app that you're using is a container. Well, we didn't even start with the online services providers and so forth, okay? But what, and what degree of contracting you're doing with them. They're considered an outsourced vendor, okay? An outsourced vendor. YouTube as well is considered an outsourced vendor, okay? And what do I mean by that? Okay, the reason why people took down my websites, okay, is because they didn't take it down legally. Of course, I'm building them back up. But the reason why they took them down is because I was too fierce of a competition for Google. And because my containers, okay, Google is a search engine. I literally built a search engine, and my engine had like more valuable information. Google's search engine just got a lot of trash advertisement and so forth. So I was building a platform trying to get my own proxy. Well, I got it. Server, all of that. To provide equivalent but better services than Google, because I specialized. I didn't try to get everybody involved, okay? Like Google is open to the public, to everybody. But my search engine was not private but exclusive, which means that you couldn't come on my social media site and post nothing that's a lie, because we'd be on your ass. Okay, like Yusef does with his platform. He said if somebody come on his comment section with that bullshit, he reckoned. He got every right to. But he ain't had no right to delete my comment that I made. That I put on there. Somebody had supposedly given him praise for content that he got in the video. Well, by right, that praise belongs to me. And he did not give me credit, proper credit, to get the aspect that belongs to him, the creation of the video. Okay? That's the only thing that belonged to him. The rest was Candy inspired. That part. Shit, he done got an epiphany, fucking epiphany from my channel and ain't mentioned me. That part. Then he deleted that comment and I screenshotted that shit. And then go right on there, he delete comments. He gonna say he delete comments. But he knew he deleting comments of people telling the truth too. That part. You don't like people telling the truth, contradict your stance, then you ain't standing for nothing. Real talk. You cannot just be going around using people's property. When all it took was just a mention of my name. That's all it took to be an honor. And he have nerve and audacity to be hollering at people and this and that. Yusef, you need to be hollered at right now. You need to be hollered at because you keep doing this. And I know you done see my videos telling people they need to not do this. And you still keep doing it. And you think if you disguise it enough that I won't know that you done revamped my shit. Because you put it in a fucking bulletin. And I don't need no motherfucking bulletin. Just because you put it in a bulletin and all that shit don't mean you came up with that shit. That's false advertisement is what it is. You trying to portray that you can come up with shit like this and you can't. That's false advertisement on his face. Because where you gonna get the rest of the information from? Me. You can't take them no further with that but a motherfucking bulletin. That's why it wasn't nothing but a 7-minute video. If you really knew what you was talking about, you'd have had more than a 7-minute video. But you didn't. All you got is a motherfucking bulletin. For me to have the address. Bless me. That part. I'm gonna still wind up having the address. Wow. Oh Lord. I just have to just say, bless their heart. They doing the best they can, Lord. Bless them. Bless them, Lord. You know, I have become the bestest of friends with some people that initially I got on their ass, you know. That's the G-Man was like, oh, Candy, you ought to go on my show and rip me. Because he knew it was in love. He didn't mind that. He wanted me to critique what he's doing and see where he's going wrong. A person that can't stand reproof is foolish. Very foolish. Anytime you reject love is foolish. Corrections are necessary. That's the really real way you correct your status. Got to act in honor. And you should know better. He knows he's not supposed to act in dishonor. But he's trying to rationalize it out in his mind. Of why that's okay to do that. Because he don't have no woman to tell him it's not. Well, he ain't trying to listen to no woman tell him it's not. Sounds like a narcissist to me. But let me tell you something. All the events in the world ain't gonna replace relationship. Look at that raggedy ass sign talking about city of praise. Wow. People be really thinking they doing something. I do more on accident than the motherfucker do. Take all day to make that little bitty ass 7-minute video. By that time, I'd have made 30 videos. And even if I'm exaggerating a little bit, I said a little bit. Even though I'm exaggerating a little bit, the point still stands. In the time it took him to make that one video, I'd have put out how many? That part. How many hours it occurred to? That part. It's crucial. Waste of goddamn time to steal somebody else's shit. When you could have easily, by nature, made your own. Class, dummy, and you're subject to liability. You subject to get that shit struck down. On top of that, you gotta look over your shoulder. You sure do. Ain't no telling. How I'm coming. Since I ain't have no telling how you coming. and it don't look good. We discussed the Rule 16. Yourself, you need to learn Rule 16 of the military law. Everybody needs to learn Rule 16 of the military law. Let's get it. Rule 16. So this is how you wind up being responsible for loss or damage. You see that? Loss of or damage to the vehicle. You gotta understand what the vehicle is. Hold on. How you today? Anywhere you see a Rule 16, may pay attention. Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna put your trunk.
Yes, thank you. Everybody needs to learn Rule 16. Okay? Let's get it. Rule 16, military law. Maritime. That need to stop learning, trying to, we gonna stop trying to teach y'all business law, and y'all violate military law code conduct. Wind up your ass in jail. Violate military law code of conduct. Loss and damage to the vehicle. How is he causing loss by using my content? When I have a loss of views and likes and people patronizing on my channel. That's how. It's called diverting traffic. Rerouting traffic. We went over that the other day. I don't mind doing the recap. You cannot be stealing other people's content and revamping it and think you finna you can't make no claim on it. You can't do shit about it. I can take what you got, use it. He might see me using some of his stuff. but I use it in the proper manner. I give him his credits of where it came from. That's the difference between honor and dishonor, Yusef. You over there teaching honor and dishonor while being dishonorable.
You have an incoming call.
Morning. U.S. Home Services? Yes. No, you may not. No, may I know what is your reason for calling?
Call ended.
Uh-huh. She trying to get validation. Caught that shit on camera. We still live? Oh yeah, caught that shit on camera. I'm telling you, man. I'm not playing with these hoes. Trading on my estate. That's what they doing. They trying to trade on my estate. She asked me for a zip code. The zip code is your address. That's giving her authorization. Give that bitch no authorization to look out there. She asked for identification first. She asked for identification first. Then she proceeded to get my number. Pay attention. She proceeded to get my number. You think a zip code ain't nothing. She proceeded to get my numbers. Pay attention. She hung up when I asked her what she calling for. She ain't want to get that on the record. Want to know why she didn't want to get that on the record? Because she didn't want it to be recorded in the system that she was doing something crooked, stealing from my estate. I told y'all gonna see. Just get hang tight. Pay attention. Oh yeah, they've been the scam likely callers. Was getting so outrageous because it's not a scam. They want you to think it's a scam because they pass it. It is a scam. That's their way of notifying you that they're stealing behind the scenes. Okay? When you ignore it, you abandon your property. Notice that you get a scam likely call every time some type of transaction occurs. Some type of transaction that you didn't even know was a transaction. You gotta start noticing it. Gotta start paying attention. We got 147 subscribers, yay. We got 147 subscribers, yay.